Welcome everyone. Happy New Year. I'm super excited to be here with you today. Today's topic is one of the most important ones, and I'm going to give you so much information today. So today's topic is powerful blueprint to achieve your real estate goals. Okay, so before we get started, I'm going to make sure that you have a pen and paper. Okay, super important because I'm going to give you a lot of information. When you write down information, you're going to be able to learn, understand, and save it in your memory. Over 90% success versus not writing anything. Okay, so make sure that you have something to write, and let's get started. Okay, so my goal, okay, is to make you more successful by helping you build a rental portfolio that is going to give you passive income. Okay, so that is my objective today, and I'm going to give you the step-by-step blueprint A through Z, how you're going to be able to accomplish that. Okay, so we're going to start off by asking you, have you ever wondered what makes people successful? Okay, I'm talking about like super successful people, and obviously in real estate we have our mentors. I couldn't help having a cartoon face of Andrew Holmes and Rahul Vishal. Okay, they're incredible people, very successful. So have you ever wondered what it takes to be successful? Okay, very simple. We crack the code. It takes personality and mindset. So what do these people have in common? Why are they so successful? Okay, so let's just focus on the real estate arena, right? Andrew, Rahul, they own over 200 properties. They make over 100 times more than you and I combined. Okay, so do you think they have 100 times more the IQ than you and I combined? Do you think they work 100 more times than you and I combined? Do you think they have more than 24 hours a day than you and I? Of course not, right? But let me tell you what all these people have in common. First of all, they have special personality. So what is it about their personality that they have? Okay, they are hardworking, they're focused, they're organized, they're goal-oriented, and most important, perseverance. Okay, they have perseverance. So it doesn't matter how hard something it seems, they're gonna stick to it until they succeed. That is the most common trait among all these successful people, perseverance. They're gonna fail and fail and fail, but guess what? They learn from their mistakes and they get up. Because, you know, there's a famous quote about success that I love. You never, ever want to quit. Why? Because you never know how far you are from success. Okay. And the second personality trait that they have is their mindset. There are two types of mindset. You have the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. So fixed mindset means that people think that intelligence is a given. Okay, that you're either born with it or without it. That either you're intelligent or you're dumb. That's it. Okay, so that's the fixed mindset. However, the growth mindset believes that you can become super bright, you can learn, you can develop, you can grow, you can improve yourself. So you've got to have the growth mindset, because guess what? They're going to embrace problems, they're going to embrace challenges, they're going to take constructive and negative criticism as a way for them to grow. They are going to take challenges as opportunities for them to grow. They're going to learn, they're going to improve themselves, they're going to read, they're going to listen to podcasts, they're going to listen to audibles. Okay, most importantly, they're always learning. Okay, and they never quit. Again, it goes back to perseverance. I love this quote by Michael Jordan. You know, the importance of the right mindset. Check this out. What happened to him, right? So he missed more than 9,000 shots in his career. He's lost over 300 games, and he's been trusted 26 times with the winning shot. And guess what? He missed. Well, guess what? Failing over and over and over and having that perseverance mindset and growth mindset has made him so successful. Okay, so that's what makes very successful people. Again, their personality, they're hardworking, organized, goal-oriented, they have perseverance, and they have a growth mindset where they embrace challenges. They take feedback, they learn from it, they welcome failure because they learn, they never quit, therefore they succeed. Okay, so now let's move that and apply that personality and mindset into real estate. What makes very successful people in real estate? Because let me give you the stats. Over 90% of the people who get in real estate, they fail. It doesn't mean that they're not going to be successful, but they just don't make it to the level they could. Only less than 5% are truly successful, okay? And guess what? Most people think it's because they like money or credit, but that's not it. Super successful people in real estate, like Andrew Holmes, Frank Montreux, Rahul Vishal, Joe Mueller, Dan Carlton, and many more to mention, the key players in the industry, they have three things in common. I want to make sure that you write these down. They have a great deal, okay, number one. Number two, they understand basic analysis. And number three, they have funding. But guess what? They have funding because they have a great deal. So we're going to go into the details as to how are you going to be able to be more successful in 2021 and forward, okay? So let's dive into it. What do we mean by being extremely successful in real estate and building passive income through a rental portfolio? Okay, so this is an example. It's a property in Mount Prospect. It's an A area. We got it under contract for $161,000. Okay, and that property appraised for $280,000. Okay, so you have a spread of, in this case, over $100,000. Rehab was about $30,000. Okay, let me give you another example. Again, Bankton property. This property in Cicero. Okay, got it under contract for $135,000. And rehab work was about $20,000, so very little, all in $150,000, and this property appraised for $215,000. Okay, let me give you another example. Again, Bankton property. This is in Elmwood Park. It's a B+ neighborhood. We got it under contract for $150,000. Again, this is Bankton property. Okay, and this appraised for $280,000. Okay, so again, you have a spread of over $100,000 between what you pay for the property and what it appraises for. And the rehab is always less than $50,000. In this particular case, the property's rehab was $50,000. Okay, so we're going to go into the details as to how you can mimic the same success. And not only that, but that you automate the process, that you have an ongoing lead pipe of great deals. Not only that, but it turns out that you are going to end up with passive income and then increasing your net worth over time in the next 2-3 years to over $1 million. Okay, that's what I'm going to show you next. So imagine if that happened to you. Wouldn't that be awesome? What would you do with that extra time, extra money? I'll show you next. Okay, so first of all, this is a Japanese saying, ikigai. I love this because it's a reason for being. You have to find your why you're getting up every morning. What is it that you're going to do every morning? Because let me tell you, people say, and oftentimes you hear people say, follow your passion, right? But guess what? Following your passion, it's oftentimes a fast track for failure. Why is that? Because passion, most people, and even if you ask kids, what are you passionate about? I'm passionate about sports. I want to go to the moon. I want to, all these dreams, right? But guess what? Reality is different, right? Your passion versus the opportunities in real life, jobs that you can have for your passion are very, very minimal. Therefore, you have to find your purpose. Okay, purpose means that it's your passion applied towards helping others. That's the key versus being just passionate to do something that you like. So passionate about doing something that you truly like, but that it has a self-interest purpose, it ends there. But if you're passionate and you're doing something for the better of others, that's your purpose. That's when you become extremely wealthy, okay? How does that apply in real estate? when you buy properties that are from distressed owners, guess what? You're helping somebody. You're in the people's business. You're making somebody's life better, okay? So when you focus on helping people, guess what? Your return is going to have immense paybacks, okay? And obviously it's gonna have to do with financials and freedom of time. So always think about how your passion could be applied towards helping others, okay? In this case, financial distress in real estate. So we're going to start with understanding what's happening with the economy in 2021 and the next 2-3 years, because this is going to drive your strategy. How you're going to be able to build a rental empire, you've got to understand the economy, what has happened with the pandemic and how that affects and what impact it has on real estate, okay? So over 55 million are unemployed. That's over 25% unemployment rate in the US, the highest ever in history. Next, assistance is running out. Okay, so look at the dates, right? So we're in 2021. It's the 1, 2, 3, fourth, the fourth column from left to right. As you can see, all this stimulus created by the CARES Act, right? The PPP program for businesses, the unemployment stimulus, right? The student deferral, now the mortgage forbearance, that's the one that is coming up to an end in March 2021. So in 3 months, mortgage forbearance is coming to an end. What it means is that people who can't afford to pay their mortgage, they're given a delay of their mortgage payment for the next 12 months. That's gonna end in 3 months. So what it means is that they didn't have to pay the mortgage payment for the last 9 months, but comes March, guess what? They're gonna need to come up with the entire lump sum amount of the last 12 months worth of mortgage payments. Can you imagine? That's gonna be pretty harsh, especially if they are still unemployed. And out of the 55 million people that are unemployed, guess what? Over 50% of those people will never be able to get back to their previous work. Why? Because those jobs are 100% gone and lost. Okay, they're not going to recreate those positions. Rent forbearance, right now we have moratorium until January 12th for evictions. So assistance is running out. Next, so this is what has happened in the economy in the last 9 months. So you have a falling demand, businesses losses, falling prices, wages reductions, job losses, debt defaults, bankruptcies, falling tax revenues, increased real debt burden. So it's a deflationary spiral, okay? Now, how does this impact real estate? All these deflationary spiral factors, let me show you. Foreclosures are going to be on the rise, okay? When the courts open up, guess what? We already have a huge backlog of foreclosure filings. So guess what? When the courts open, boom, there's gonna skyrocket. Not only that, but remember, forbearance program ends March 2021. So all those people who still cannot afford to pay their mortgage, they're gonna immediately enter the foreclosure process. So you're gonna see a huge tsunami wave of pre-foreclosures starting this summer throughout the next couple of years until 2025. So there's gonna be an increase in inventory because right now we have a shortage of inventory and that's what's making property prices hold high, okay? And since we have historically low rates, that makes affordability for buyers greater, so they can afford more homes. That is why you see a huge pool of buyers. People are paying crazy money. Why? Shortage of inventory and low interest rates. So how does this impact your strategy? How can you take this information and build a rental empire? Check this out. So the impact on housing is that rentals will outperform flips. In real estate, you only have 3 exit strategies. You either buy and hold, meaning rentals, fix and flip, or wholesale. That's it. Okay, so for sure rentals will outperform flips. Why is that? Because people were being displaced from their homes through the foreclosure process. Guess what? At the end of the day, they need a place to live. So since they might not be able to own a home, they need to rent, right? Very simple. Now, flips, on the other hand, since I just mentioned that there's going to be an increase of supply of inventory, guess what's going to happen? When you have an increase in supply, property prices are going to adjust, meaning property prices are going to decrease. They're not going to drop like 50%, but they're going to drop 10 to 15%. So you're going to have declining values in the next 2-3 years. What that means is that if you're taking on big flips, it's extremely risky because you're going to need to take into account declining ARVs or after repair values. When it comes down to sell the property after you've done all the rehab, then you're going to sell it for less than what you're thinking today. So you've got to be very careful if you're going to take on flips. So this is what the data is telling us. You've got to focus on off-market properties, pre-foreclosures, bank-owned properties. Okay, what does this mean? What it means is that you have two options when it comes to real estate. Either you focus on market properties or MLS properties, properties that are listed in the multiple service listing or MLS. Everyone sees those properties. They're extremely competitive. So people pay crazy money, they overbid, they overpay for the properties. Therefore, you've got to focus on off-market properties, properties that are technically not for sale. So you're going to have a huge tsunami wave of pre-foreclosures, people in distress, financial distress who can't afford to pay their mortgage. Guess what? We can help them. You can help them. And the second most important lead pipe, bank-owned properties, REOs or shadow inventory. It's all the same thing. What it means is that when people are in foreclosure and they can't sell their home, nobody's able to help them, they're gonna lose the property to the bank, okay? The bank is gonna take over the property. So guess what? The bank is not in the business of real estate. The bank is in the business of lending. Therefore, the bank is going to dispose, get rid of all those properties ASAP. So this is where we can, as I show you in the case studies, we've been taking advantage of. So the bank is just trying to get rid of the properties. They're trying to recoup their outstanding balance. And guess what? We're paying 50, 60 cents on the dollar. Okay, so it's just crazy, but that's how you're gonna be able to build an incredible, amazing rental portfolio. You can also do wholesales or flips should you desire, okay? But I just wanna make sure you focus on what's gonna make you really wealthy in the future and increase your net worth over time, okay? So this is what the data is telling us. Not only that, but number one focus should be on rentals because, as I said before, people need a place to live. So rental market is going to be extremely strong this year until 2025, okay? Rent prices are going to go up while property prices are going to decrease. Therefore, the way to be is in the rental space. Second, do easy flips. Don't take good rehabs, major flips where the rehab is going to be over 50,000. Do simple, easy, quick flips where you're gonna put in less than 50,000 to rehab the property. Otherwise, again, it's too risky. A typical flip is going to take 3 to 6 months when it's an easy flip, okay? Because it's gonna take you about a month, 2 months to do the rehab plus market time. So give and take 3 to 6 months. However, if you take on a big flip, you can be stuck with the flip for 6, 12 months. And guess what? The longer you hold on to the property, the higher your carrying costs, holding expenses are, which are gonna tap into your net profit when you sell the property. So stay away from go rehab or big flips, okay? Because guess what? The money is not in the rehab, okay? The money is not when you rent out the properties. The money is when you get awesome deals on their contract. That's when you're making money, okay? So the money is not on the rehab. People think that, oh, the bigger the rehab, the more money I'm gonna make. It's the opposite. The bigger the rehab, the more kind of worms that you open up, dealing with multiple inspectors, okay, different trades, plumbing, electric, roof, windows, foundations, HVAC systems. So obviously your risk goes through the roof. Okay, next, wholesales. Okay, so that's the second best strategy, wholesales. Okay, it's going to be more lucrative to do a wholesale than, guess what, than a flip, because you are pretty much doing nothing to the property. You're just assigning the rights of the contract to an end buyer, a cash buyer, an investor. Okay, so those are, in that sequence, the best exit strategies that you can take on in real estate moving forward. Okay, so now please make sure that you write these down, because I'm going to give you the secrets, how you can build this rental empire. What is it that you need to look for? And not only that, once I give you the secrets, I'm going to show you hands-on all the resources that you need to start today. Okay, so number one, okay, setting up your entity. It's super important to set up an entity. When you buy real estate, you've got to do it under an entity, and there are three reasons why. Asset protection. Okay, somebody falls in your home or in the rental, guess what, if you get sued, your personal assets are gonna be protected. So your liability is just in that particular property. Okay, it's not gonna tap into your personal assets. So super important. Second thing, funding. To get funding, hard money lenders, private money lenders are going to lend money to your entity, not to your personal name. And you know why? Because the foreclosure process in Illinois, that is a judicial state, which means the banks need to go through the court system, can take up to 2 years to foreclose on an individual, but they can foreclose on an entity in as little as 6 months. That's a huge difference. That is why you need to have an entity. And the third reason is for tax benefits. The biggest tax benefit in real estate is depreciation, okay? Make sure you buy your rentals under an entity. The second thing is line up funding, okay? You've gotta have funding line up. So how do you do that? You have pretty much 3 options, okay? Hard money lenders, private money lenders, and business credit cards. So hard money lenders and private money lenders is expensive money and is short term. Okay, so when you have a great deal, you want to use either one of those 2 options, hard money lenders or private money lenders. The big difference between them is that hard money lenders are big institutions, okay, backed up by hedge funds, versus private money lenders are just individuals like you and I who chose to stay passive in real estate, but they have a lot of money. Okay, so they want to make a nice return in exchange for lending you the money. Another big difference is that hard money lenders are, again, big institutions versus private money lenders, individuals. So private money lenders is going to be relationship based. You've got to build rapport. You've got to get to know them at a personal level. They need to understand your goals, your objectives, your experience, okay, for them to feel comfortable. You've got to mitigate risk because it's their money on the line, okay, although the collateral is going to be the property. But again, you've got to build rapport. You've got to network with private money lenders, okay? Again, both of them are going to be short-term loans and expensive money. What I mean by that is that you're going to be paying around 12% interest rate. It's a 4 to 12 month term, and you might end up paying about 1.5 up to 2-3 points. Okay. Next, business credit cards, super important. I love these because it doesn't affect your FICO score. You can apply for business credit cards under your entity, and it's huge because guess what? If you have a personal credit card, every time you want the line increase, they're going to run your credit. When you have a business credit card, my goodness, I've seen that they can increase your line of credit by 2-3 times. It's just incredible. So we have close to 350,000 in line of credit just in business credit cards. Whereas my personal credit card, I think I have like 25, 30,000. It's just insane, right? So again, business credit cards, super, super important because you're going to use them when you do the rehabs, you're going to have access to cash advance. Should you need money for a down payment, should you need money to pay contractors. So it's just a great way to get easy money. Okay. Next, rental focus, accessing great deals. Okay, so we divide this category into three pieces that you need to understand. Okay, number one, you've got to focus on the top rental markets. Okay, number two, location, 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 and number three, you've got to have a big spread, over 80,000 spread. Now, why is it important for you to focus on rental markets? Because guess what? If you want to do a rental in a flipping market, it's not going to work, or vice versa. If you want to do a flip in a rental market, it's not going to work. We learned that the hard way. There are rental markets. So what's a great rental market? A great rental market is where you can buy properties under 200,000, but yet the rents are pretty high, over 1,500. Okay, and then obviously the second item that you need to think about is location. You've got to stay away from factors that are going to affect your property values: train tracks, airports, cemeteries, floodplains, and so forth. And then the biggest one is having that big of a spread. Like the examples that I gave you at the beginning, you've got to have a spread of at least 80,000 or more between the purchase price and the ARV. When you hit this spread, guess what? You're going to be able to do a successful rental that has equity on the back end to refinance. You're going to be able to do a successful flip where you make at least a 20% return on your net profit from the flip, and you're going to be able to do a wholesale. That is why it's important to have this big of a spread. And guess what? You're going to be able to satisfy the lender's requirements. So lenders have this metric called the debt coverage ratio. They want you to have a 1.2 or above debt coverage ratio, DCR. What it means is that they want you to cash flow at least 20% after you've paid all your operating expenses and your debt service or your mortgage. Okay, so they want to make sure that whatever you collect from the property, from the rental, is enough to pay the mortgage, the operating expenses such as taxes, insurance, maintenance, property management, association, and then common utilities, electric, gas, whatever you pay in that particular unit. So they want to make sure that you pay all of that and you have a surplus of 20% of that rental income. Okay, but when you have this big of a spread, guess what? All those metrics, the DCR is going to be higher than 1.2. So you're going to be okay. That is why when we analyze deals, guess what? My first question is this, I know that we want to, let's say, focus on rentals, for example. So I want to make sure, is this in a rental market? Number two, is the location okay? Yes. Number three, do I have a spread of over 80,000? Meaning, let's say the purchase price is 100,000. Will it appraise for 200,000? Maybe we'll appraise for the upper 100s, maybe 190. Now the next question is, will the rehab be less than 50,000? Okay, if that's the case, then you've got a great deal. Because guess what? If you buy it for 100, but the rehab is going to be 80,000, and the property is going to price for almost 200,000, it's not a good deal. So the key is that the rehab should be less than 50,000, and your spread should be over 80,000 between what you pay for the property and what the property is going to price for. Super, super important. Okay. Now the second best strategy that I mentioned is wholesaling. Okay, what it means is that you are going to get a property, a great property on the contract for a great price, and you're going to assign the rights of the contract to an end buyer, a cash buyer, an investor. So you are not buying the property, you're just selling the rights of that contract to an end buyer. So this is what we've done in ChicagoDealVault, and guess what? This is by far one of the most important projects for 2021 that we have. So we have created an internal wholesaling team. Right now, we have over 50 people that are doing wholesaling within ChicagoDealVault. Okay, so this is what we're doing for them. Okay, so we're giving them free training, free seller scripts, free contracts, CRM, free leads already pre-qualified, we do the number crunching or the analysis. We're gonna split, okay? Whatever we make, we're gonna split between you and us. We're gonna help with the disposition, and you can have your license with us should you want to do that. So we're gonna cover wholesaling in more detail when I give you a live demo. But this is such an important exit strategy that we're building an internal team that you can be part of. I'm gonna cover that in just a second. Next, easy flips, super important, okay? So what does that mean? Again, you've gotta focus on the top flipping markets, okay? What's a great flipping market? A great flipping market is where properties sell like hotcakes, okay? As soon as they come in the market, boom, they sell. And not only that, but where the supply for those properties is very small versus the demand. So people really want to move to those areas. There's an indicator that measures a great flipping market, and that's called the months of housing supply to be less than 2.5. So what does this mean, okay? What it means is, let me give you a quick example. Let's take, for instance, I'm gonna make up a market, Naperville, okay? Let's assume that there are 100 properties, or let's assume that there are 50 properties for sale in Naperville, okay? And that Naperville sells about 25 properties per month. So the question is, how long would it take before Naperville runs out of properties for sale, assuming there are no new properties coming in the market for sale? So again, you have 50 properties in Naperville for sale, but every month, 25 are sold. So how long would it take before you run out of the 50 properties for sale? Very easy, 2 months, okay? So that makes Naperville a great flipping market where the months of housing supply is 2. In this case, if it's less than 2.5, what it means is that it's gonna take 2.5 months for the entire inventory in that area, in that market, to run out. If that's the case, guess what? That's an amazing flipping market, okay? And that's where you should do your flips, okay? Next, location. Again, location, the same as the rental markets. And then you also need a big spread, at least 80,000 between what you pay for the property and what the property is going to appraise for. Super important. So now I want to make sure that you're gonna put all your struggles behind. I'm gonna give you a quick demo of everything and that I showed you today, okay? I'm gonna give you the resources. So everything that I explained, we're gonna summarize it hands-on. So I'm gonna give you a quick demo of what that looks like. Okay, so we're gonna go in ChicagoDealVault. Let me just log in. Okay, so first of all, the data tells us that we've got to focus on off-market properties, okay? So we have in ChicagoDealVault probates, pre-foreclosures, upcoming auctions, shadow inventory, vacant properties, wholesale deals, okay? But again, the focus should be on pre-foreclosures and off-market properties. Bank loan, okay? So REOs right here, bank loan properties and pre-foreclosures. We have a special inventory as well, shadow inventory. So the examples that I was giving you earlier that we're buying with a huge spread are coming from here, shadow inventory. So we have a shadow inventory that we can pretty much buy the property directly from the bank without any competition. Regardless whether these properties are being sold at the auction.com, hubs.com, it doesn't matter. We're gonna be able to buy these properties directly from the bank. So it's a huge competitive advantage that we have, that we give you, okay? Because guess what? Not only are you gonna know how much the bank is gonna sell the property for, but guess what? You're gonna be able to finance the deal. You know, while unlike all these auctioning sites, Hubzu, auction.com, oftentimes you have to pay cash for the properties. Guess what? We're gonna buy exactly the same property that is listed on those websites from the back door, financing them. We are gonna not engage in a bidding war. We're gonna pay the bank's reserve price, which is the bank's bottom line, what they're gonna sell the property for, okay? So now, I'll show you that inventory in just a second. We're gonna focus on rentals. So this is just to quickly summarize that, but before we focus on the rentals, we're gonna start with the basics, right? So you have to create an entity. If you still don't have an entity, I'm gonna click on preferred partners. We have over 300 preferred partners. Again, this is huge. All the people that we work with, we share with you. So if you still don't have an entity, go under accountants. We have a couple of accountants. They're gonna help you set up an entity, S Corp, LLC, you name it. It's gonna cost you about $600. You can get incorporated in about a week's time. Okay, super, super powerful. Again, this is part of the foundation that you need. Set up an entity for asset protection, funding, and tax benefits, okay? Then number two, you need to line up funding. You need to work with hard money lenders. So we have, I'm gonna go to hard money lenders. Over 25 hard money lenders right here, okay? So you need to get in touch with them and get a line of credit, proof of funds, whatever they can give you. So they're gonna ask you for your experience. They're gonna probably all your liquidity, bank accounts, assets, and so forth. And they're gonna give you a letter that states how much you're qualified for. So super important to reach out to hard money lenders right here. The second source of income or funding is private money lenders. So these are individuals like you and I with lots of money. So in ChicagoDealVault, we have over right here, I click on the tab, private money lenders, over 4,000. You can filter them by city, by zip code, by name, by county. So these are individuals that we're gonna give you their contact information. So all you need to do is highlight on their contact information, boom, we give their phone number. We even give you the script that you need to use right here. Just click on preview of how you can introduce yourself to start building rapport and line of funding. We also have internal private money lenders within ChicagoDealVault. Okay, so once you become a member, we're gonna give you access to our internal private money lenders list. Super, super powerful. The next thing is, I told you, business credit cards. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to preferred partners. I'm going to go to business credit cards. Boom, right here. We give you the contact information of about 7 of them that you can reach out to apply for business credit cards once you have your entity created. And this is huge, guys, because at the beginning, we didn't know any better. So we paid a third-party company to apply for business credit cards on our behalf. We ended up paying them 10% of the total line credit that we got. So to me, it was a ripoff. At the beginning, we got 40,000 in line of credit. We ended up paying 4,000. It was just insane. I want to save you that money. Use these phone numbers, contact information for you to get the business credit cards that you need. Okay, now let's focus on the rental aspect. Okay, that was just the foundation and the resources for foundation. Rentals. So again, I told you, you've got to focus on the top rental markets. I'm going to show you how to find them on their area reports. Super simple. First of all, we have the area types right here. We have A, B, C, D. A being the best, D being the most challenging. We're going to be focusing on the A and B areas. Why? Because with the pandemic, the C and the D were the most affected. This is where people lost their jobs, whereas B and A neighborhoods, people get still to work from home. They work remotely. So I'm going to do, just for sakes, B neighborhood, and then I'm going to select cash flow, meaning rentals. So what I'm going to do is, remember that I told you, you've got to focus on properties no more than 200,000. So I'm going to put no more than 200,000. So give me the top rental markets where the purchase price is less than 200,000. Boom, I got a lot of properties. So we got so many markets. We got probably 60 markets. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to sort these by rental income right here. I'm going to click on the column that says rental income. And this is going to give me the top rental markets. So check this out. Top rental B market, Berkeley. Why? You can still get a 2-3 bedroom home for less than 160,000, yet the rents are through the sky. You can collect, the median for a 3-bedroom is 2,100. The second best market is Hillside. The next one, Bridgeview, Glendale Heights, Altsip, Streamwood, and so forth. Because look at the rents. The rents are way over 1,500, and yet purchase price is less than 200. So it's just a quick way for you to filter the top rental markets. Okay. Now remember that I told you. I'm just going to click on the first one, this market, to show you what you need to look at. Okay. So let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so the top rental market is, in this case, Berkeley. Okay, so remember that I told you that location. So we're going to give you the geographic location of the area, and most importantly, we're going to highlight some of the factors that can affect the property values that I mentioned earlier, like train tracks, highways. So you've got to make sure that that is something that you really pay attention. Location. Super important, friends. You can find a great deal, but if it's in a bad location, it's going to cut off your net profit, your ARV, and so forth. Okay. In this report, we're going to give you a lot of information. Okay. We're going to give you a summary of the amenities, cost of living, crime, schools, employment, sales market analysis, rental market analysis, everything that you need to know at your fingertips. I'm going to show you these when we touch on flips, okay? The next thing that I told you, you've got to find properties, great deals. How do you find great deals with a spread of over $80,000? Very, very simple. So let me show you on the pre-foreclosures how simple it is to find those awesome deals. So what we have is, I'm just going to pick a county for sakes, DuPage. I want over 50% equity. So that means that people owe very little money on to the mortgage, to the bank, but yet the property is worth quite a lot. So if I search in DuPage, all the properties that are in pre-foreclosure that have a lot of equity, we got over 400. So what does that mean? Let me just give an example. Again, Glendale Heights, this owner owes $15,000, Sebastian. But guess what? His property is worth over $200,000. Does that make sense? So here you have a spread of over $200,000. Okay. Obviously, he's not going to sell it for $15,000, $30,000. I mean, but you can, if you end up paying, let's say, $100,000 for this property, right, and it's worth over $200,000, you're paying 50 cents on the dollar. So I just show you an example of one great deal out of over 400,000 or over 400. Okay. Something super amazing, guys. If you want to get in touch with Sebastian, boom, we give you his contact information, his email, his cell phone, his everything. And now from within DealVault, you can send an email to Sebastian. So it's super powerful. But guess what? When you join or become part of the wholesaling team, we're going to guide you and show you how you need to build rapport, connect with the sellers, to make an appointment, and most importantly, to get a signed contract. Okay, so we're going to go into the details of that in just a second. So this is just an example to show you what I mean by having a great lead pipe of deals, pre-foreclosures, high equity. And guess what? Right now, we just got 400, right? Which is a huge number in DuPage. But coming this summer, next fall, guess what? This number is going to be not 400, it's going to be over 2,000 just in DuPage. It's that big of a tsunami wave of pre-foreclosures that we're going to be seeing coming down the pipe this year. So you've got to be ready for it, okay? And then banked on properties, those are the properties that you can pull out from the back door. So let me just quickly show you. I'm going to go into the shadow inventory tab. So right now, today we got 50, okay? So in this case, check this out. On this screen, you see the target column and the Zestimate. Just to give you an idea, so for instance, The target is the bank's reserve, how much the bank is going to sell it for. So this is insider information. We know how much the bank is going to sell it for, and we just give you an idea of what the estimate or the ARV will be for the property. So we're looking for the spread, again, of over 80,000 on each of these deals. So oftentimes we found that spread of over 80,000, like this one. The bank is going to sell it for 47, but this property is worth, once you do the repairs, 120. So these are the type of deals that you want to go after, where you have a big spread over 80,000. And the cool thing about this is that you can buy these properties directly from the bank. So even if these properties are already in auction.com, hubzu.com, all these auctioning sites, we can pull them from the back door. It is extremely, extremely powerful. In fact, yesterday we just had a session on shadow inventory. We spent about an hour going on the details of how you can accomplish this, okay? So next, I told you that one of our biggest projects is wholesaling. So let's touch on wholesaling before we go into the flipping. So wholesaling, this is what our team looks like. So this is the org chart. We have over 50 people as part of the team. Okay, so these are all the team members who are actively now engaging on our mastermind that takes place every Tuesday at 6:30. Okay, so Cheryl, Stuart, myself are training, are giving pretty much everything that you need to be successful. So we have a lot of resources that we have. We have a training manual, we have contracts, we have scripts, we have the leads already scrubbed and analyzed. We have a CRM where you can only enter your leads, and we're going to nurture them for you automatically. So we have pretty much everything that it takes to be successful wholesaling. So we have all these materials to share with you. Not only that, but we track everything. Okay, so this is everyone's name in the team, and we're starting to track everything that happens, like calls made, meaningful conversations, appointments made, offers made. Everything is being tracked just to make sure that we are on track to be successful. So again, you can be part of this team. So this is the wholesaling team internal to ChicagoDealVault. Again, now the third and most important strategy, flipping, easy flips. So remember what I told you, you've gotta do easy flips. You've gotta focus on the top flipping markets. So how do you find them? Super, super simple. All you need to do is take the same approach right here, flip. Instead of cash flow, select flip and then search. Boom, we got the top flipping markets right here. And then guess what? Glendale Heights happens to be also a great flipping market. So we're gonna open up Glendale Heights, okay? Why is this a great flipping market? Remember that I told you the metric that is super important for you to understand, the months of housing supply. How soon, time-wise, would it take before all the properties available for sale in that market are going to run out? Remember, it has to be less than 2.5 months. So I'm just going to go to the bottom. This is Glendale Heights, to the flipping analysis section. Okay, so we give you all the details, including the approach that we recommend, but right here, check this out. Months of housing supply for a single family home in Glendale Heights is 1.29. What it means is that it's going to take about a month and a half for all the inventory available for sale in Glendale Heights to run out. So Glendale Heights makes it one of the top flipping markets. You see what I mean? You've got to do flips in a flipping market, because imagine if you do a rehab that takes, let's say, 2 months, and then you put it on the market. In a flipping market, it's going to take you 3 to 4 months to complete the process, to complete the flip. But if you try to do a flip in a non-flipping market, you spend 2 months in rehab, but it's going to take you maybe 6 months to rent the property, because there are markets where it takes about 6 months to sell the property. So imagine you're going to be stuck with the property for over 6-7 months. you're going to be losing money if you try to do a flip in a non-flipping market. So super, super important. We give you the analysis for every single market. So we tell you what the top flipping markets are. Okay. So now let me quickly answer any questions that came on the chat. Okay, Nicole, can you clarify the $80,000 spread between the purchase price and the ARV? Where does the rehab cost enter into this concept? Are the rehab costs included in the $80,000? Great question, Nicole. So what it means is, let me just give you this example. The owner is in the hole for $15,000, but yet the property is worth over $200,000. So there's a huge spread over $200,000. You need only at least $80,000, and the rehab should be less than $50,000. So that's the condition. So let's assume you pay for the property $100,000 for this property. Rehab should be less than $50,000, and the ARV should be 200 or more. Okay, so that's the key secret for you to analyze deals in seconds. And then you're going to be able to do a successful flip, successful rental, a successful wholesale. And in fact, right here in ChicagoDealVault, we tell you, right, the max allowed offer you should pay on a flip should be no more than 133, with the assumption that the rehab is going to be less than 30,000. Okay, but let's assume the rehab is going to be 50,000. Therefore, your max allowed offer shouldn't be more than 110 per se. So we give you all the numbers, so all the analysis is right here for you. But that's in a nutshell. When you have that spread, the rehab should be less than 50,000. Another question is there a replay for yesterday's call? Yeah, absolutely, Dory. There's a replay. So if you're part of the Blue Angel team, yeah, you're gonna get a replay for it. In fact, it went out this morning. PJ, where did you find the target search of your software? Oh, the target is right here under shadow inventory. So we have, if you are a Blue Angel member or yearly subscriber, you're going to have access to this inventory where you know what the bank is going to sell the properties for and that you can buy them directly from the bank. This is where we've bought the last, I would say, 6-7 properties directly from the bank. And these are large banks, okay, that we buy the properties from, paying just the reserve, what the bank's bottom line is, which is huge because we're finding that banks just want to get rid of the properties, so we end up paying 50, 60 cents on the dollar. Super, super powerful. Any other questions on the line? Okay, how do you join the inner circle, right? So if you want to be part of this team, the inner circle, led by Cheryl Stewart. Cheryl Stewart has done hundreds of wholesale deals. She owns tons of rentals in Illinois and in other states. So she's one of the top wholesalers in the Chicagoland area. Okay, so everything is led by her. So if you want to be part of this, you can be part of this today. So I'm going to show you how you're going to be able to do that. Okay, are there any other questions before I jump and give you how you can have access to all these resources? Any other questions? If not, let's dive into it. So this is what we are going to offer you. So put all your struggles behind, make 2021 the best year ever for you, have access to all the resources, be able to buy properties directly from the bank, paying 50 cents on the dollar, be part of our wholesaling team, Inner Circle. We do masterminds every Tuesday. So again, we make this the AZ blueprint, the $1 million portfolio. So this is what's going to happen for you. You're going to be able to identify great hot markets, flipping and rental markets, have an abundance of great off-market deals, analyze deals in seconds. You're going to be able to connect with the sellers and secure an appointment. That's what we are doing in the Inner Circle. Super, super powerful. We're going to help you line up funding for your deals by giving you access to not only hard money lenders, private money lenders, internal private money lenders. You're going to have an abundance of cash buyers. We have over 60,000 cash buyers in ChicagoDealVault that we can wholesale the deal to, okay? Right access to the right partners. We have over 300 partners that we work with, including we've shared our GCs, plumbers, electricians, roofers, window guys, kitchen cabinets, every trade that you can think of, we have them on the preferred partners, okay? At your fingertips, because we want to make sure there's nothing in the way standing on your for your success. So we're going to make sure that you're more successful, you're going to be happier, have more joy, and obviously you're going to be making more money. Okay, this works for newbies or seasoned investors. If you're interested in doing wholesales, flips, you name it, this works for you. So we're going to give you a 6-week training. Okay, that's part of the inner circle. We want to make sure that you're not wasting any time, because as most of you know, money, it's a scarce resource, including time, most importantly time. Okay, so we want to make sure that you save your effort and time in trial and error. Why? Because we have already spent the time for you, so we want you to don't waste any time away from your family. Leverage from everything we've done. So we're going to give you access to the shadow inventory that I show you, okay, where you can pretty much buy properties directly from the bank. What else are you going to need? We're going to give you access to our internal private money lenders list, including the over 4,000 private money lenders that we have in ChicagoDealVault, hard money lenders. So you're going to get all of these, the shadow inventory, private money lenders. We're going to give you access to the cash buyers, okay, list of over 60,000 cash buyers. When it comes to wholesaling, that's where we're going to target, okay? So this is where you're going to get the shadow inventory, private money lenders, cash buyers. Now you have two choices, right? We have two choices, right? To make this as cheap as possible, but that doesn't really incentivize us to add all this value. The second option, it will require a higher investment on your side. But let me ask you this: if all these was to give you the final push to make you more successful, right? Would it be worth it? Is that a yes or a yes? If all these was to give you the ability to do what's truly meaningful in your life, spending life with loved ones, do whatever you truly like, is that worth it? Of course. If all these was to give you a home run deal, just one, like the ones I showed you at the beginning, would it be worth it? Is that a yes or a yes? Of course, right? So what's one home run deal worth to you? I mean, to us is worth the spread that we get the deal for. 50, 40, 100,000, right? Like the properties that I show you in Elmwood Park, spread of over 130,000. It's huge, right? So now we have a special gift for you. So today it's going to be $997. We're going to give you access to everything. You're going to have access for free for the next 6 months. Okay, so it's super, super, super powerful. Everything for free for the next 6 months. The shadow inventory being part of the inner circle for the next 6 months. So everything that I show you today for the next six months, only $997. So pretty much now you have two options, right? The first option is to do nothing, do not take this leap of faith. And the second option is to pony up this small investment that you're going to get your money back 100 times fold. And guess what? There's no risk. Why? 30-day money back guarantee. So we're going to give you everything that I showed you today, 30 bucks money back guarantee. Okay? If it's not for you, that's okay. We're going to give you your money back, but we're going to make you part of the inner circle team. We're going to give you access to the shadow inventory. We're going to give you access to all our resources to make sure that you are successful today. Okay, so the question is this worth gambling? Just a few minutes of your time to check this out, even if it does half of what I show you today, right? And let me show you, I'm nothing special. I don't have any superpowers. I'm just like you. I was in your shoes 2.5 years ago. That is why I'm obsessed with helping you be more successful, because I know what it's like to being like nowhere, not knowing what to do, to owning over 30 rentals. Okay, so I want to make sure that you are successful today. I'm going to help you break out of all the old habits, right? Because it's not about me, right? We're very successful. It's about you. I want to make sure that before you leave today, you take action today. Because if you want real lasting change in your life, you need repeated exposure to the full system, and that's what you get when you sign up today. So again, you're going to get the entire training, part of the inner circle, live training every Tuesday. the shadow inventory, the private money lenders, hard money lenders, all are resources that I show you today. So you can say goodbye to all these resources that probably you've used in the past. And most importantly, for the first 3 people, okay, so we're going to give you access to the membership for free for the next 6 months, okay? That includes free access to everything, the leads, the inner circle, the shadow inventory. You don't have to pay for DealVault for the next 6 months, so everything is only $9.97, okay? Even the script tracing is in part of the Chicago DealVault, so it's all part of what you're going to get today. You have one-on-one training with us, and it's unlimited. So we're going to remain on the line for the next 15 minutes. I want to make sure that if you want to take this offer today, you take action today. And again, execution trumps knowledge. So when you take action, that's what's going to make you successful. Taking action today. Remember, perseverance, having the growth mindset is what successful people have in common. That perseverance is super critical. And most importantly, taking action. We have faith in you. We don't know how it's going to work for all of you, but you know how it's worked for us. And I know that you have faith in yourself and you know that this is going to work for you and you're going to be successful. So we're here for you. You're going to have unlimited training sessions with our professional trainers. You're going to have access to the inner circle. You're going to have access to the shadow inventory, all our resources, partners, top flipping markets, top resources, including contractors, attorneys, hard money lenders, private money lenders, cash buyers, you name it. The whole enchilada. It's going to be yours for you. And most importantly, free membership for the next 6 months, only $9.97. So if you want to take advantage of this offer, we're going to be here to help you in the next 13 minutes. Okay? So if you want to upgrade, if you want to take advantage of this offer, please send us a message via the chat that you want to take advantage of this offer, and then we're going to reach out to you after the webinar. Okay, so if you're already a member but you don't have access to all the resources that I mentioned, please let us know via the chat, and we're going to make sure that you take advantage of all these resources that I shared with you today. So thank you everyone for joining. We're going to be on the line for the next 10 minutes or so. So have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and I look forward to making you more successful today, not tomorrow, today.